All right, today we're tackling an absolute classic dessert, crème brûlée. But we're not just making the standard version. We're going to elevate that incredibly silky custard and that perfect crackly sugar top with a warm, festive eggnog kind of twist. Trust me, this is a real game changer.
So let's just dive right in. You know, the best part about this recipe is how flexible it is. We're going to make one perfect custard base, and from there, it's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure. Are you going to go with the classic individual ramekins or a big, show-stopping tie for a crowd?
First things first, we have to absolutely nail the heart of the dish. This spiced custard, it's the foundation for everything else. Getting this part right is the key to a dessert that people will not forget, no matter which way you decide to serve it.
And look, the ingredients here are actually pretty simple. Over on the left, that's everything for our universal spiced custard. Heavy cream and egg yolks, those are non-negotiable for that signature richness. Then on the right, you'll see the 3 little things you'll only need if you're going the pie route. So the process really starts by building these layers of flavor. First, we're just going to gently heat the cream with those warm spices to infuse it. You're not boiling it, you're just waking everything up. While that's happening, you'll get your yolks and sugar whisked together until they're all pale and creamy. And the final secret weapon, straining. Don't skip this. It's what gives you that perfectly smooth, professional quality texture.
So what's the one thing that can go horribly wrong? This. We've all been there, right? You get a little impatient, you combine your hot cream with the cold eggs way too fast, and suddenly you have sweet scrambled eggs, not a silky custard. But don't worry, there is a simple, foolproof way to prevent this every single time.
And that secret is called tempering. It sounds fancy, but it's really not that hard. The key word here is slowly. You're going to drizzle just a little bit of that hot cream into the eggs while you're whisking, like crazy. This just gently warms them up. Once they're warmed, you can pour in the rest of the cream with confidence.
And that's it. That's the whole why behind it. It is that simple. By bringing the temperature up gradually, you keep the eggs from freaking out and cooking on you. It's the one little technique that makes all the difference between success and, well, scrambled eggs. Okay, our beautiful, silky custard base is ready to go. Now comes the really fun part, deciding how you want to serve this thing. Are we feeling classic and elegant with individual portions, or are we going for that big, rustic, shareable pie? So for the classic route, you're going to use your individual ramekins. And the absolutely crucial part here is the water bath. Pouring hot water around the ramekins helps them bake super gently and evenly. It's what prevents any cracks or rubbery texture. And just notice the temp and time here, a little hotter and a little faster than the pie. Now for the pie, you're going to pour that exact same custard into a ginger snap crust that you've already baked and let cool completely. See how the bake is lower and slower here, 300 degrees, and check out the doneness cue. You're looking for a much bigger wobble right in the very center. Let's talk about the jiggle, because it is the single most important visual cue you have. Your brain is going to tell you it looks underdone, but this right here, this is perfection. The edges are set, but the center has that distinct wobble, almost like Jell-O. It's going to continue to cook as it cools from the residual heat. You have to trust the jiggle. All right, the custard is baked, it's cooled, and now it's time for the drama. It's time for the step that actually puts the brûlée, or burnt, in crème brûlée. This is the big moment. But hold on. First, a really important waiting period. Your custard has got to be completely cold. I know, it's torture, but you need at least 4 hours in the fridge. Honestly, overnight is even better. A cold, firm custard is what creates that incredible contrast with the hot, crackly sugar crust we're about to make. Okay, moment of truth. You start by blotting any moisture off the top. A dry surface is key. Then a nice, thin, even layer of sugar. And now for the fun part, the torch. Keep that flame moving all the time. You're not trying to just burn one spot. You're basically painting with fire, melting and caramelizing that sugar into a beautiful sheet of amber glass. So what if you don't have a kitchen torch? Don't worry about it. For the pie especially, there's a fantastic workaround. Just skip the whole sugar crust idea and top it with a giant cloud of fresh whipped cream and another little dusting of nutmeg. It's just as delicious, just in a totally different, creamier way. Whew, we have covered a lot. So let's do a super quick recap of the most important things to remember. These are the pro tips that are going to make sure your crème brûlée is a massive success. Number 1, do not over-bake. I really can't say this enough. When you give that pan a little shake and the center still has that wobble, it is done. Get it out of the oven. That residual heat is going to finish the job perfectly while it cools, giving you that amazing silky texture. Next up, your spices. Look, if you can, please use whole nutmeg and grate it yourself. The pre-ground stuff loses its flavor so fast. Freshly grated nutmeg has these incredible, almost floral notes that just make your dessert taste like it came from a fancy pastry kitchen. It's a small thing that makes a huge difference.
And finally, timing is everything for that perfect moment. You know the one, where your spoon just cracks through that warm, brittle sugar into the cool, creamy custard underneath. To get that perfect contrast, you have to torch it and serve it right away. Don't let it sit around.
So, there you have it. The complete playbook for a perfect spiced crème brûlée. From that silky base all the way to that fiery finish, you've got all the secrets. So the only question left is, what are you going to make first? The classic ramekin or that crowd-pleasing pie?